Welcome to the presentation of my ongoing thesis, titled Accelerated UV Testing of Flowing PVT Silver Nanofluid Optical Filters. I am going to run through the background and motivation, the aim, the experimental setup, current results, as well as some future work. Background and motivation. Nanofluid optical filters are a very exciting prospect to the PV industry. Firstly, I'll describe the basic principle. Due to the band gap of each material, a PV cell works most efficiently at a certain wavelength. For example, a silicon cell with a band gap of 1.1 electron volts will work most effectively at roughly 1127 nanometers. Any energy above or below this is absorbed as heat, and an increase in temperature of the cell will mean a decrease in the open circuit voltage and thus efficiency. Placed between the light source and the PV cell, optical filters aim to combat this by transmitting a bandwidth of wavelengths around this most efficient point while absorbing the rest of the spectrum. Silver nanofluids extend this idea by having a flowing filter, and so can firstly move the heat away, but also can be used in solar thermal applications such as heating water. There has only been small amounts of experiments done on these, but the PV team at UNSW have produced some. To be successful, the fluids have to retain their optical properties. Temperature has made them unstable, and so silica coating has been applied to the silver to combat this. The other threat to stability is UV degradation over time. This was tested stagnant last year, but unfortunately their results were not reliable. This leads me to my aim, which is to systematically test and compare the stability of different silver nanofluids under UV accelerated testing in a flowing configuration. Experimental setup. Under a specified distance under the UV lamp, the nanofluid flows from the beaker through the peristaltic pump, a flow cell, and back into the beaker. The flow cell is connected to a spectrometer. The temperature is kept relatively stable with a thermostatically controlled fan and heatsink in a large water bath as designed by me. An absorption and transmission spectrum is then taken episodically every 30 minutes. Using Schwarzschild's law, the experiment is run for 24 hours to simulate 6 months of UV weathering for each fluid. Results. Unfortunately, due to software and spectrometer issues, testing has been a little behind schedule. These issues have now been sorted. From results thus far, it has been found that UV affects the optical properties no matter the width of silica coating. For example, the transmission spectra of the uncoated silver nanofluid are shown below. You can see the shift of the optical properties over time from the blue to the orange curve. Future work. In the next 3 to 4 weeks, tests for different silicon coating widths as well as different wavelengths will be conducted. Once this testing is done, any unstable fluid will be set up to flow through a glass tube to see if it will remain stable, as this will be more like a real-world application where it will have a glass cover. Further work also will include integrating any stable fluids into real-world applications. Thank you.